Hello, today we will discuss the biodiversity of freshwater fish and touch on four main topics: predatory fish species, climate change, refuge habitats, and COVID-19. Let's get started. As you can see in the chart, the largest slices are taken up by predatory fish species due to environmental factors. Predatory fish are forced to eat other smaller fish because of the width of rivers. There is not enough room for everyone. Imagine this giant bluefish and this small orange fish. The bluefish will attempt to eat the orange fish because he wants more room in his pond. Without these environmental factors such as elevation, width, and depth of rivers, the orange fish probably could have survived and the biodiversity could be more diverse.
Let's move on to climate change. So many human activities such as deforestation and driving are affecting fish population and habitats every day. Imagine these two fishermen decide to catch a certain type of fish. There will then be less of that species of fish. Extinction is possible if this pattern continues. As you can see in the chart above, there is a major increase in endangerment specifically on the native fish species. We see this when there is a major jump in the vulnerability of these species. As you can see, if humans continue doing activities that lead to climate change, many freshwater fish species will no longer exist. These climate change threats are now more likely to add stress to all species and, specifically, a lot of stress onto the native fish species of that habitat. Over the next 50 years, rising water temperature will greatly affect and decrease the freshwater fish populations and habitats. Human activities such as deforestation, which includes cutting down trees, is just one small factor that leads towards our climate change. Farming livestock is another example. Both of these examples contribute to climate change hurting our environment and wildlife. However, it would be extremely difficult to throw away all of our everyday activities and live in the wilderness. Scaling back on these methods that contribute to climate change can save animals such as our freshwater fish and create more diverse habitats overall.
Let's move on to refuge habitats. A refuge habitat is a smaller enclosed area to protect endangered species from their prey. A stream or a river like this one picture could be similar to that of a refuge habitat. For instance, let's talk about the Dorene River, which I am currently sitting in. This river and refuge habitat is host to 11 different species of freshwater fish. Although the biodiversity is getting smaller by taking species away, it is allowing endangered species the help they need. The refuge habitat and creations of others should increase the fish survival rate and recovery of endangered species over time.
Next, we'll discuss COVID-19 effects. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused us to alter our everyday human activities, which impacts existing threats like climate change, overexploitation, and invasive species that affect the freshwater fish population. Scientists conducted a study to research this. The purpose of the study is to find out how the pandemic may have increased or decreased these elements. A team of global experts in freshwater fish biodiversity and conservation was assembled. Their goal is to look at the interaction society has with COVID-19 and also take into account the background of pre-existing threats of freshwater ecosystems, so they could understand the potential future outcomes that the pandemic will have on freshwater fish. The scientists concluded that there were benefits for freshwater fish biodiversity that comes from COVID-19, like a decrease in invasive species movements. There were also negative outcomes found, like a constraint on citizen science programs focused on invasive species, a diversion of public and political attention from climate change issues, and increased fishing effort and harvest from prolonged lockdowns, loss of income, and need for food, which will all need management and policy actions. Let's recap what we've learned so far. Due to the environmental factors such as elevation, width and depth of rivers, predatory fish species are killing off smaller species of fish, causing harm to the overall biodiversity of freshwater fish. All of these factors are firmly in effect today, and many of these are caused by climate change from human activities, causing damage worldwide. Even today, with the devastating impacts of COVID-19, we can see the harm on other species other than humans.
Well, that's all we have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.